conference has been all about communications technology, and we've been really focusing on technology. But communication is also about connecting with each other, and we've been doing a lot of that. We've been connecting and communicating with each other. This is really important because communication and connecting is what makes us successful. That's the secret sauce. Companies that can succeed at connecting people with each other and with their stakeholders and with their purpose and with their company are the most successful and sustainable. There's a reason why Fortune 100 Best Companies to Work For has outperformed the S&P 500 index by a ratio of 2 to 1. Connected people are happier, and the companies they work for are more successful and sustainable because happy people can connect more to their passions and to their creativity and to their positive energy. We all want 3 things from our companies and for our personal life. One is to be cared about as individuals. One is to have our opinions and our ideas matter. And the third is a purpose connecting ourselves to something larger than ourselves. Being cared about as individuals is what we really dearly care about in our hearts. And an easy way to do this is by creating opportunities for everyone in your company to connect on a more deeper level by having birthday celebrations, by celebrating anniversaries, by celebrating wins, both big and small. One of my executive coaching clients was telling me the story of when he first started his job. He was working on a hard project and he was feeling depressed, and on top of that it was his birthday. He came back from lunch and his co-workers had decorated his cubicle up with balloons and streamers, and they'd even bought him a little birthday cake. And it just really made him feel great. And he knew it was silly. He was kind of a grouchy guy anyway. But it just really warmed his heart, and he told me that he loved it and that he'll never forget it. And he still works there today, and the project went great. If you can take those interactions and make them into traditions, it can really make a difference. You can improve your culture by bringing these experiences in and making them into traditions. And at TFI, as you know, if you open up the email, that every year we come up with a card that is about a trend that happened this year. This year's card was the WorkLife Balance. And as you can see, happiness means family and friends, and interests that give you pleasure, challenges to keep you sharp, and priceless moments you can treasure. And like at home, our work lives too can encourage love and sharing. So that was our trend this year. Last year, it was automated cars, and Santa had an automated sled. The small things really matter too. Like, for example, I was giving a presentation in San Francisco last year, and I had read someplace that it was really nice to thank the maids by giving them a little tip, but rather than doing it all at the end, tip them every day and write a little thank you note. So I happened to be in the room. I thought it was kind of silly, but I wrote her a little note. I happened to be in the room when the maid came, and she did the room, and then she came over and she tapped me on the shoulder and said, you know, thank you. That was such a nice note. And she was so touched. I was really shocked. And it made me feel really good, and it made her feel really good. So the little things can really make a difference in how we feel and how we make other people feel. If you'd like to read a book on how to connect better with people, this is the gold standard. How to Win Friends and Influence by Dale Carnegie. You probably have one on your bookshelf somewhere. The second thing we really want is we really want to have our opinions and our ideas matter and valued. Interesting work, responsibility, trust, these are all important. Developing potential, challenge, praise. If you're going to praise somebody, do it in front of somebody important to them, a mentor, a spouse, a boss. Then it really makes a difference and really makes that connection stronger. One opportunity that is really great is opportunities for sharing. People love to communicate and they love to share what they know. So for example, what if somebody asked you when you got home, one of your coworkers, hey, why don't you give a 20-minute session at lunch on what you learned at the TFI conference? Or what if they asked you to do a blog or, do a newsletter article? It makes you feel good. So there's lots of opportunities there to communicate and share with each other. The third thing is we really want to be connected to something larger than ourselves. John Mackey has a great book on conscious capitalism, and he talks about the 4 great purposes. couple of examples of great reads that I would recommend is Bruce Schneider's Energy Leadership, Transforming Your Workplace and Your Life from the Core. And this is all about different energies and how to connect to your higher energies for a more meaningful life. Another one is The One Thing, and this is all about figuring out your goals and then setting steps and holding yourself accountable to your goals. And Mini Trends, which I wrote with my father, John Vanston, it's all about finding trends that are going to be happening and then taking advantage of those and running with them. So that's a good one for idea generation. Another method is the power of the mastermind. Masterminding has gotten really popular. It is all about taking 2 or more people, meeting regularly, finding your goals, being accountable to your goals, and cheerleading on your goals. The classic on that is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So you might want to look at that. If you're interested in the law of attraction and positive thinking, I recommend The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles and The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I don't have the Art of Positive Thinking, but that's a good one too. And then finally, coaching. And what coaching is all about a one-on-one partnership so that you can build a more meaningful and your best life. In the past, it's been more about problem people and helping them. But nowadays, it's really much more about creating the best potential in the most promising people, often. And really what coaching is interesting about coaching is we look to the future and decide where you want to be, and then not only where you want to be, but how you feel in that future. And then you build steps to get to that feeling and that future. So it's interesting. With all these books that I've been showing you, I thought this was an interesting take on reading. This is what I found in the lobby when I was meeting with a client recently. Books are for display purposes only. I'd like to leave you with 3 thoughts. The thoughts matter. What you think is what you're going to get. Gratitude rules. If you're thinking great thoughts, then all the negative thoughts don't have room to crowd in. And then finally, expect miracles. If you expect them, they'll happen. Thank you very much.